I say, check in your time. It's only 33 after 7. And Brussels say, you know, Dean Como, and no pay a bigger 4 betting as a strongly. Now, you did, and no paying Como in no, a day as so. Now, say, yeah, because they and bra a war a year and cry at the Alisa Hotel, a idea, sir. Oman Penny Abediachi and Afe Frankatuni Edema NPP Amanyo Kono Dr. Alhaji Mahamud Baumia Etimi Akwakoda Nabediachi a Wopeso Buano na Wotu Franka Edema Eye NPP Amanyo Kono Edi na Wadini Nyinano Ache Ghana my any NPP party crew and pay Yenu Obedi Ho Enkomo Shortly. Now what trimo I idea say Urejakwa case, you know, the High Court has been in the news exactly for the testimonies Richard Jakpa Etimi Ama on the cross-examination na koso between his very self and then the AG enti anope yeno ebedi ho enkomo the NDC endra press conference na womo echre mo se eniema bi o mampanyin na na adanko ekufuado ene the chief justice no se womo behwe se womo besanso appoint a judge for ebe enum akwakoka womo ewo Supreme Court o man court batan ne ho no ade a ebebo mai na ade a enye kra se nipa num yi eka ho a nipa Eduno ana ene omampanyin ebabedi akonwan no watimi apa womo a ene minority no NDC no edesa nkomo ni nyina no ede atudwa anopei yene o ebedi ho nkomo na watwi mu nso unim se yedi nkomo ni bebre about a year ally anase bill a ye propose say eno no ebebo a year free senior high school and a free SHS ye was say no ebebo eno ho eban ewo omanyemo na minister ema yeti asie free juadana babesi andra say ene womo ede a year adwinfo ado ni adwinkyerɛ nyinaa no akwakoda cabinet sɛ wɔn hwɛ ne mo sɛ cabinet nso ebetimi agyatum na afei abamra se bedwam ama nhyehyɛ ɛsɛ sɛ wɔn yɛ nyinaa no ne nyinaa no etimi awie pɛyɛ anɔpɛ nkɔmɔ ahodoɔ wɔ nyinaa no egu apono so a yɛne wɔ edi ho nkɔmɔ obɛka bi mu nso a na wɔtwe mu a ana the trade minister the honorable KT Habo ɛde ɛyɛ the ally for ɛyɛ cement price regulation okole ye ewo mrahye be ho nkomodie no so akwakoye bebe anopay and so end up no so ye ne wo nyina no adwendwe enti ma o message ni nyina no emra 0550596929 0550567929 eno eye numbers a ye de eye adwuma no pempacho wo de wadwenfo ano ani adwentwe ni nyina no ebefa no so aba na afi wa join ye live ewo Facebook no eso ye bejo adwentwe ni nyina na yetimi anywhere di enkomo no egie pa enti Fabra na yankinkan ni nyina no emma ma me fa asedane bi emma Emascon Estate Ghana Limited na Emascon Adaroma mpacho womo ewon sase ewo Chopoli a womo eton eno nti se wutie ma do pay na uyobi a wani gye ho se ubeto asase dia mpacho ba bi asase no mansutwe bia ene ho na woye ya ye de okrata any obibia asha unsem no eye Emascon Estate Ghana Limited na say one more the promotion for fraba between the 18th ekwa de kosi eye the 9th of August and a promotion ye koso say one more say monke kam humbom say adwumayefo a mugye bosumi akatua de mpacho modem humbom na moba womo ebetwa ansase no ede amamo na afi womo amamo brenso a mobetimi ede atua sika no nyinaa no enkakra eno nti anopei mpacho woni eye Emascon for eni nkomo na womo ebegye wo so ahwe se wonso wonsa ebetimi aka wasase mpacho se wutie me anopei a de obe nyinaa no ene se obegye omo numbers no na woni womo edi enkomo ebeboa uye pa we journalist we doctor we nurse mpacho mu nyinaa betimi akeka mo ho abom officers in the security services mo keka mo ho bom a na afi maba asase no 5 minutes drive from Central University na open eye Emascon for office na mpacho womo ewo eye community 18 junction Sprinters Road no eso womo ni Allied filling station no edi enhwe ni wa no pay for womo on 0553-840-646 and after 0553-838730 na wone emascon for any enkomo anope na womo ebeje wo sopa mame kwa homane so na menu ya Kofi Tonto any enkomo wono eye political aid edema Dr. Alhaji Mahamoud Bawumia Obampenyin Abedi Echiri Franka Tuni edema NPP amanyuko nendra adefefa esi wa Lisa no na yene no eni nkomo ewo ho Kofi what been come matching empom to saying
mini ameju so bibi aboko na so
already the enko ache yenso ye ho ye congratulations as well
ya dai nyina ho ase
Ati Enra eja enya babedru. Now Dr. Maakye Prempe is the running mate for Dr. Alhaji Mahamoud Bawumia. Ye monitor for more Enra send a jumedie no esi ekoye.
Medasi bibre. Enra no anopa no yewura Mahamoud Bawumia okoye program at University of Ghana. For your mama and papa no paying for a friend of the Center for Aging Foundation also. Tomo ye jumedi kasia mode si danya facility a mode be boa ya mama and papa no mo money efi. Nti okoho ko boa ko ye donation. O free ho no ko eye go mo afete on GPRT for so negotiate. Free ho ansana ordinary chere Alisa Hotel. In Tiano Pano 2 official events. Now free ordinary chere Alisa Hotel. Na Yako National Council. Odru on and chebe se Simedia Sanchili and on my penny so a buy and I did you met in share so. Tierra de nano disem to dra chichi mudi intia free se ira napo aya mati opoku prempe betimi aye obi a obebo na chido odin semfu atu nse ye party no enhyehyeye no kire se ese oyi obi ti odin hyehyeye ni nyina to dra chichi mu kama owie ye no na osre National Council se nam say in party ni say so be nipa na oni omo na nyemom no obesere se omo beji atum na national chairman should be kwan ma National Council no says it's formed by stakeholders parliamentary caucus, council of elders, regional chairman, etc., diaspora, all of that. It's we and a national chairman ma these caucuses no more representatives and so a day omano disem etunja minia obia okasama ekua huru ni nyina ekasa in affirmative say omunyina ejitum ansana iwie no omampanyin so ebekasai ena ono so jitum ena yira napo so bekasai we yan sana yese tuaba fi abatu no no obia so ejitu unanimous 100%. There was not a single no. So aside from the fact say and block by representatives stakeholders, council, CASA, diaspora, CASA, parliamentary caucus, CASA, umunyina jitu no mosa tuaba nipa bako 100% bia ajitu ansana yedi jumedi ni nyina ebewie enti nyame adom ajebo nhyehyeye na asie ye no bia timi abewie nyame adom a ebna da ye nemi ena yira ekokumase na wakuyi no akire aye an engagement to announce him, and then from Wednesday we take off for round 2 of the campaign. It's up a benefit.
Very well. Very well. That is quite encouraging. And Dr. Maakye Opoku Prempeh, 100% securing that from the National Council. I don't pay my main and now was it. Shall Coffee. Coffee Tonto, political aid to Dr. Alhaji Mahamoud Bawumia speaking to us, and said the arrangement in Inano. Urana po anasese Dr. Bawumia say Franka Junior Media vice presidential running mate and they watching me aba Barema Solomon Owusu na member na kwaba member at the movement for change. Although the senior advisor to Alanana.
Yeah, come on, Flo.
Portfolio near day.
We are come on, Flo. Make us a man.
David, would you mean your common floor member?
Baby, come on, Flo.
But I want to make the effort.
Also be bro up.
Want to my death.
Also bro up. La, Mr. Speaker, me who naje.
Me who watch you, solo.
Mama, the only day so yes, kay. The other number be la me who.
Now, and what you say?
Eko yipa. In fact, the SC Enra and Rich,
Yeah.
Ama yung crunch, akosro beyond expectation.
Okay.
Particularly from the ruling party MPP, you know, presso was sentiment to say, I can't say I take over Asante region as the stronghold.
Okay.
And then Tirana, the Omo yin and some people be a obey to my voice, no, Appiah Kubi Pepe Asante Chimpe. Na Kofa Obimrano me chimpa. Your MPP could you my idea, Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Nijian.
Oh, Napoya Niji.
Oh, Nijian.
Hunting and I say,
Nijian. As also now, umbre. One for Bibia Mecatic, that's the truth of the matter. On fashion Mecahon. We are yesterday, Tuesday, or Mokaku naturally, a new mommy lupe and BCO. Or Makoye t-shirt, Afafanto t-shirt.
Okay.
And Omodiama, Omoa members, Kakrana Kano. Say Omon Shenfamra. Outdoor as inauguration as no more because ni na movement for change and ye urana podintino and abeka ho ye to sum omepe ehemfo bi omgraya ya tie se omunche da nya ehemfo kofo e bebo omotoma montuma efrefra no ma because na pobai enti asante man ehemfo nyina etanichi and the only two things. Either than that, Mr. Speaker, Asante Wantem, Obianim say a NBP stronghold.
Yeah.
As of the last elections. And in fact, we hear Asantini and also be a free Asante region as an MPP at Wabama.
Okay.
The last election proves it. Say Urakufuado, Onya Santini, and no one tia Asante region.
Exactly.
Uraba Umia, Onya Santini, and no one tia Asante region. But Asante region gave them 1.7 million votes.
Exactly.
Eddie, you don't need Napose, one man made on the galvanize Asante region. Then it means it's a problem. And the Oma Yeno confirm your position. I was say, then people know say the movement for change a take over Asante region. So they need Obia obey me about reducing the impact in the Asante region. Now, unfortunately, no, the Omodena Bano, Emwa.
Is it Napo the party's choice? The party people on the ground, no. Womana a call for Napo, Entino Waba, na Obe party for Nizojuma, Entino. I mean, Obe repeat the sentiment. One more party for Mwabemu Bunyano. I mean, the aggrieved ones in Yinano, Ebe Baba. Ukrazi, I'm sure Zabia definitely. He may want to extend an invitation to you.
And again, I pay inflation drew 9%. Ye know policy rate every 29 about 10%. Ye know city to the dollar about 1:3. Ye know unemployment at about a single digit. Ye know fuel, a liter of diesel every account. Okota browbre every. Baby, and I buy a 2 CDR. No man was or buy or the impact we have, but any bear we didn't indicate the thing in a year.
No, that's 24 hours crime.
And it's of no effect. Tiensamo Muninaka. omo nkase ye napo yi e ba be change ya bra boma ma ahoto abawo ye no ba be galvanize NPP for no na wo busa ho de enti a ama sa supporters no atwa mo free NPP ho economic reasons sa titi be badwi bre na ye say ye twa oboja we say ye NDC we say NPP na twa mo and there will be a getting the circumstance I can cry me first one metia library water bill school fees and the keka ho se woni adwuma ya wonya ne fan oba be kan wi asensem nia you cannot use tribalism to whip up sentiment anymore. The only thing about me dey use the sentiment economic progression. And now vice president Kwame Appiah we share businessmen. One thing you be bini ka kire no. O ka kire so ora me am nya mo adwene say Asante region stronghold me insuo ni doko enuma na meye me ne o ka say me nwuma nyina agu na me twa electricity bill 20,000 under the previous regime na abon which I believe na do mama bon but ene ye twa 200,000 me dwuma agu o ka wie no instructively businessmen na dey twa wonyina bom nsema ma no o so nya obia na otumi nya kokudro ekasa and it means that he spoke the minds of the business community Kumasi. Now one the control Ashanti region. The business community. Ebe puna anase mpuna ejina omoso. Energy also in Napoa. Napoa tina wana monyumegu. In Abopa there what are his selling points? In any case about one Ashanti region kwa diokoto. So it means that beyond Ashanti region for bia meka ho. Edie no okwa akotwe free ho bron hafo aba edie no okwa akotwe free mo central region aba edie no okwa akotwe free mo greater Accra edie no okotwe free mo aba your friend say all the other regions and Asante Mantem no you can't tell me say Napo was richer than Asante under no circumstance and to me see and if it is the case say Asante Mantem and I say one more Asante region so one more probia obedu woni wa busa say between the mate and the driver why Asante region be settle.
Very well. I know your intro, Solomon Owusu no. But Emma Godwin Mahamachi, member of the NDC's communication team. Na Abrantie so boy Juma pa de my party no. Opposition there netina ya. As I said party no. Great no babe ye positions campaign wo mo fa no ense ho ye.
Oh yeah, my opposition. God, yeah, my opposition.
That's all mo to me money.
I just me am a cost strike.
I believe says so.
No.
Money campaign spokesperson.
I don't want that.
I come on. God am I to say?
Yeah, I mean, you are don't know
last week man.
Last week no mean some emergency.
Let's be about
at the dawn of now I'm sorry I may try say but now me person may leave space ni empty. Until now say me find a replacement. So the NDC and come aboard ni to abo aye bono. Obi betime gina my name edisa enkomo no. Mr. Speaker, let me just also make a preliminary comment on Andradia AC.
Oh, now and only a full topic.
No, don't worry. No, let me also make a preliminary comment. You see, this is the first time a political party, a running mate, purposely said that running mate would want to galvanize that party's base. Every bia party bia be running mate bia no yepe obia the general public would want
the general acceptability
because the flag bearer will hold both the party and the entire country. Share Kufuor Aliu Mahama was not the base of the party, but ye because na Ghana for ebepen. Share Nanado and Baumia was not even a party member of the NPP. But no mu obi a omu yi ni ba the entire Ghanaian population ebepeno. Share John Mahama and Emisata. The same thing. Share
John and Jane.
John Mills and Mahama. Share John and Jane. So it tells you say there is something fundamentally wrong within the NPP, and I'll tell you why. The enti omu yi naponi say omu admit say omu fail the people of the Ashantis. For the past 8 years, omu deprive the whole of Ashanti region of projects. Wama on BBI. Now Ashantis are grieved and angry with them. Inti omu yi napo e di adada Asante for. But said ya solo kan no. Years ago na a young crowd say
you will meet to party nim, be it NDC or MPP. This time, people want development. And for person my bra Bob Sessa. Because Yentimin toss 1 2 about for the past 32 years. No Bibi Sam say into MPP now to man and then a winner. So what's your rationale behind it from the history I gave you are the entry of Muyi Napone say Omuji to Musa Asante Fubu.
Yes, but is that not dangerous for the NDC?
It is not.
And going into this election, because I mean they tell you say vote if you Asante region Kwabano. It may cancel over.
No, it is not. Say they are solo can whether you when you Ashanti is their stronghold. That is one. Two, Masaka Chile will say Ghana will vote based on Omabrabo. And let me quote former President Kufuor. Say, she was sitting him netwaba. You ask yourself, and now when we school 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, will you continue to vote for a party that promised you say Obama Wejuma? Party your catcher will say to Obama in 2020, he will pay your rent for you. They are in their final year, they have not paid your rent for you. Party your catcher also by exchange rate fem. Now me jadi 4 Nema bo aba fem. Me no ka say exchange rate enam he. Inflation enam he fa. Just in the entry of July, yato cement bo so. Yato nsuo bo so. Yato enyinam kanea bo so. Enne under MPP omo de Ghana koshe IMF. Into every 3 months be every quarter of the year. It is mandatory say enyinam kanea bo ene nsuo bo ekosoro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Me too.
So that nyema na yesi ya wumi atu nti metro ma MP metro ma people no Ghanaians are descending, and it is not a threat to us because Ashantifuo nim the achievement of the NDC in the Ashanti region. Emri bia John Mahama betu no na Ashanti memu bia no. You see, he doesn't box his achievement and talk about them. Oyiyi no baku. But be it Nanado or Bami Omukwa, they box it and tell you say my 1,000 and something roads. They should be specific because about kwayo, about school, about hospital, MPP and Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo cannot match the John Mahama achievement in Ashanti region. But me from Anunsi because a preliminary comment. The last point is that you see, me yaw say, yedum pempen so yenim say ma akwenya into politics. The race leading to the appointment or selection of Napo, we had Natoshi, which is CEO for
Common Fund
Administration, and Chief of Staff. So I thought, say, the NDC ama the respect. Now yaka marshal for a very long time. I also said the time is now. Says ma kwenya. No munsu take certain high position. No, MPP would have equally had the same respect for women. But what do we see? Because omu need that kind of respect. Say a man su betimi a lady, a man su wode. Say ya the Ghana show munsa betimi a lady. They think say a man is only meant for the kitchen. That old time ideology. And nuntinu both chief of staff. How she MPP ni biya not radio so. Or better, say a woman ni say, oh you good. Why didn't they pick her as the running mate? It is because MPP have no respect for women. Into your banner utiyemia. The time is now. At least, yenim said your master know how to take certain positions. Professor Jena now Pokwa Jemai will break a lot of barriers. First female vice chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. Not mere any university, University of Cape Coast. And anybody who knows that schools will tell you their school's level when it comes to tertiary education. Now we have a first female vice chancellor. And a lot of women after her are now holding those positions. A trial said, from 7 January 2025, so it will also open equal doors. Subsequently, Obaba.
On the sentiment of women.
That is not necessarily, but as some words say, you can say, no quarry or waka. It's a high time we
Mama,
must
Mana
speak.
Kwenya.
It's a high time we must speak truth to ourselves and stop hiding the truth.
Say brainy ni say
Brainy.
man nso benya baby.
Because Emily Ben Biom.
Ewo ya mamu.
No, Emily Ben Biom. If Ghana we have practiced a democracy for more than 30 years. Now you Obama ni nye running mate here.
For the highest
Obama ni nye vice da. When again? Emily Ben Biom. So I think that the disrespect they have given women. Sankamadi mpo memoir, I wouldn't have had a problem.
Okay.
But to have two women, dignified women, Bakumpo and Ne chief of staff.
The longest serving chief of staff.
The longest serving chief of staff
In the history of Ghana.
in the history of Ghana. Number Onusu Ashanti region.
Yes. 8 continuous.
That is it. Number you need question in San. Asem Sebe, women must be careful of the MPP. Because MPP more, you can never rise to that position. But for the NDC, when you are in, for us, as UNIM, the pivot of the NDC is a social democrat. Whoever comes, we embrace that person. If it's time for
And
you, we give it to
what
you.
surprises me most about the NDC, no, I said, solo, I mean, parties ni me na form your campaign teams, no. I took time. I mean, NPP campaign team, no, over close to more than 100 people.
Yes.
On the campaign. It was 7. NDC campaign team, no, is made up of 33 people. 33 people, no, a woman, no, almost 10.
Yes.
So I asked myself, say, why? Now, in terms of even managing the flag bearer,
None of them are
say,
included.
say, John Mahama spokespersons in man.
That is it.
Beatrice and then Joyce Bauer.
Joyce Bauer, sure.
First, na kwachi for suho.
Yeah.
You know what the Beatrice are then.
Sure.
So, I mean, I asked myself a lot of questions. Say, political data, no, any the scientific data, no, political parties, now you really considering it. Because even in the just ended registration exercise, ECA, you know, a man register more than the men.
Yeah.
And he will call into this election 5 months now. We'll hear our analysis. Where do you really want to place them?
You let me end with this so that's all. So look at. But I mean, they say that
No, this is a
example
fact.
about.
Yes.
But let me end with this. You see, Alhaji Bawumia once said something, and I want to quote him, and I'll end with it. Or say, the best running mate will not make any difference if the flag bearer is incompetent. And I repeat, the best running mate will not make any difference if the flag bearer is incompetent. And it is clear that Alhaji Bawumia is incompetent. He has mismanaged the economy. Inti emfa honi nipa omode ne be bata no ho. Ono ankasa agya to mu se ono as flag bearer incompetent a emfa honi nipa obefa dia bata no ho. It won't make any difference. Besides, ono so ma yate ase se wo ye mate you don't have a say. So you meta, you don't have a say. What it means is that Napo is just going to be a white elephant. He won't have a say in his administration because he claimed he didn't have a say in the administration of Nanado, which is even not true. Because Nanado catch about me, or say me minim economy. Into my coffin is some managing economy. And many no musu say see deny hata. And the coffin about no, and they see deny hataless.
But I say, so, is the movement for change really considering data and what is here? And the involvement of women 5 months down to the election?
In fact, your priority point. Movement, you consider your mommy critically.
Okay.
Emma and youth. Because of fact, Ghana, your vote a voting party and I said registration and population now. Youth, you know, constitute more than 50%.
Yeah.
You understand? And until your leader now say oh plan here, Mebuno must be your focus. Again, to say your kind population census and the man does.
Exactly.
And into what movement activities beyond a ma etaji ni mupa. And then just a mao. The youth a ma on where a bebuno.
Yes.
And until obienu abet me akasa wo ye political party under the current dispensation between ma ene mebuno eja. Then you would have gotten it wrong. and you know a priority. And you have your policy, in fact, the Great Transformation Plan, a women and youth centered. And Alan waka say the entire movement you own a ma ene mebu omodachi. But this NPP administration, they don't consider a ma say. But here I want to say, the entire Papa Nebia went to be unsettled on Obama. So no one say only in charge of the party. Ayo Rabomia, only in charge. This is the first time one flag bearer of a political party ever being a running meter. When was the last time I be running meter who said National Investments Investigations Bureau I published a so-called survey? It's what him for. Say, yeah, your mind I team ye near the BI engage yet say the running mate to a flag bearer. Yet any way and I before no na media for that graphic. The state-owned newspaper at the on the front page. Meanwhile, in the race, Yanti at the organ, yet the chief of staff, yet that Shidi at the point that Esla Din not my day, but on one Casano, yes, a party, unim, and indeed, on your true and true party member. What the MPP has done, and they say, your father said, outsider, you knew beer. No party near there because the party is on its way to opposition. Senior Bayas are galvanizing now, Moka galvanizing. The Omoka Chonia is a senior Bayer party in opposition. They will use Napo to galvanize, reorganize the party. Now, no, it's me about a flag bearer. Or about me, they are in 2024.
I see.
Party in the if you say it will be so difficult for Orabaumia on his own, so general now so bet me a contest. Contest. Now, say contest here, call your for me. And the establishment that really protected him. And it's almost we are Malkana walk away the opera. A dear now wanted to say Apostle Yinane or Mom Galabra. You bet your party, you bet more beer or your known party member, but send a bear who you dear. And in the whole policies, I it to establish why make out was the NPP knows is going to opposition. And that also, or before be obey me, I reorganize the party. A very big mistake. So also probably for Santa region. Between Frema and Inapu. Why part bit me actually don't Santa region? Because me for Santa region. Me what dear be a yes from go, I want to put a man will be free said Napo can really govern because all governors them before. Now the 210,000 delegates, even in the Santa region and Lusa, a baby 40,000, 50,000 delegates. I don't know who base our governors and then just say judgment. But sir, all rich outside the new patriotic party, our Santa region, and yeah, also our capacity, only. So I say, and it's almost goofy party. I'm one home de one but memble more so. It's as one who's co opposition. So, Oko you bar opposition, Nipan bet me up one more governor and the party nana. The answer is an emphatic no. This is a party, a person, a luso with a respectable scoreline. Who's a match you on more? Coach Kumwa. When him said, they are Melusu. Nemo Mempesa Melusu with a hefty margin. That's a good team, anymore.
Okay.
Timaminia Bibina say. That is where we are. But there is no doubt to say Abaye Kwakutui or Lanchemati will win. Yes, after 32 years of mismanagement, Ghana for and also poverty. Because Unya has been brought about by these two political parties. Ghana for no years have made back of him for one bosa or who say hot hear me and a Friday and Obuti aso asaje nsuo ni gugu okofa hen wanya biedi ahasu ni kronkwa ekobi na wu ada wu because yedi welfare system bia da say aduane joint bia okwa ekoti bia mo di free o itiano ted akino come jaminsa wo share eji omo no ayewad now menya sure say ebeba but party no going forward no you say was mabrewa e was so omodwene sa anwuma we bi ho say omumma man chance na man no say mo kwan a omummo ne improve yes bia so oba keke oba na wo ba no o so obeboa na unemployment situation no ye solve and I believe say your mom we are competent enough bet me about so mo kind of member be tie nko ade but you see your chrome cultural wise no wow ni
yeah
oba the dibia ne your friends the kitchen oba ne ka asem a yemfa but the ma look omo ani o ugoye bibi na oba wo ne bemfa na tra ade na obe wo ne ho ebe kwa kosi aba obi ado asahwe odin.
And this is somebody, I mean, the office of the president, to a far extent, chief of staff. Scandal be a man who so far.
A man who the only scandal by Nakwada and Kofa by Putozwa. Okay, Galam say, yeah, Professor from Bob Watibu, and he say, yam.
Oh, okay.
No one year by, but all in all, me feel say, and they be as well age wise. Maybe they are me chief recorters in the Bisa, I mean, to be and said that, and yeah, isa, Sana no moka. Say, campaign ya, and where she say, better than you do, every night, you be could among Tiasia. But maybe need you if we say if the flag bearer himself ain't competitive enough, not a whole political party, the money rain na kwa share the nimukra emba ballot to so. Hanya many na beje because of royal and Jamanti na nimbe ballot to so. Here 2024 obeje ballot no. Na ya John Mahama Mahmoud Bawumia Alan Jamanti ada se a cheddar Gumu so be obeko. Neda so. E ho na obehu the decision making of this country. Se there's a kasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasa do obi atoto ne sa. But uje ballot na.
Paper
noa. Na kura wa. Na nipa ne gusu a. That is where the defining moment will be. E dey na dey help nyina din. Na ye nyina ye kwa Ashanti region ho. Ye nyina be campaign ho. Ye nyina ye busuafo ho. Ye be hu di oba be kan nsem. As for the other side of Napo say wakasi de nyame na meka. In terms of one na nemu nsemu a ekwa yinika. Wa flag bearer you dey also interchanges. Ghana card ehu hiase interchanges.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole. When the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, and also the whole. NAPCO yakoshi 2.2 billion we vice president here the cover by taxes are hold we no only the IMF staff level agreement here we get to Ghana so and a 20 mini and no yanka once one yama o cover running meter you also you see sentiment in here a t-shirt sa same way se kokko bote pu okejetia ya ne movement ya high Hong Kong ka and once a cast near the tomb, Madame Catherine. That I told Madame Catherine. Madame Catherine, I don't pan on the abundant voice.
And you mamma go
you go Jessica get your heart apart. Not yet a to repeat mood.
And no more could.
As I did don't we have a t-shirt? A bossa. Yedibiako mampo, Yedibiako boasi, Yedibiako, Bakwa, Yedibiako, if you just Yedibiako, and also, I don't go on here. You don't have any time to go. Oh, boy, nothing na public for her. So, one more dear, Omu Yampunju t-shirt, MPP at room. You see how people see the people of Ashanti region. Now, dear Yanis, one of their own. Obia what tears and Timemua, or so or shase. Ukwa dumu ne obi sori kotra ne store from anopako se nyimre ye ntohwe ohia ena no so be buy close nipa be 1 million they say ohia dodo buburo ka mo asantimantem eno nya ohia asem and that is why ye be ko buy election na ye chewid obonsam tawa se enkofo mebunu no mo adwuma anya mo life fire basad yes akele mo kra mo nkohye I'm going to have my MPP. Tiwe no enya semwa a wachiri kra. Asante Mantem will speak and speak loud. Say indeed ye per driver then you meet.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. 12 after 8, Kessben 92.9. Na ma yenshe video images emra na ape yento asudin kom patcho join your live on Facebook. My team.
Very proud of you.
The central why Yeshia Mukawaha. That day, Osno Kwame Appiah Kubi this year. na National Council the Bruni friend, the second highest decision-making body of the party, no. Ishemu no I pass no, they Ishemu. Nina fi say the Frank Atuni, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Kwame say Apostle Daye Enya Nipa Professor Okanho as running late. Oh, December 7 abatua ye kwakotumu. Apa obisia party bin for no for the 2 years say Yewra Dr. Matthew Opoku Prepe ye nipa dodo na afa ni apono. Ono na National Council e ma ho kwan obeyi no say abedichi no wa ba ye kwakotumu December 7. Oka the Kasawie ye no party bin for yeso yina no adre for bengu say opani na wayi no obi a yenim no na wasom party no etie esofwa e wo nipa na wayi no ama ye party no na ye ka yenua Dr. Matubu Prepa ye ba amayo semwa sebi nipa dodo na nim no oni obi a fe no aba amansem ebi se wo hwe ne mofrase eduma wo ye school akoye Nkaka Prepe College now through a US of a year local news president. If you are Amanone, that's a portrait this year. So, or yeah, man as a medical doctor under the NHIS, that's the NHS, United Kingdom. In 2005, Sabah Ghana, ever started on in 2009, it was very for Parliament. Member of Parliament for Asia. 2012, Ebra, the chairman Shamu Mienu, Mensha North, Mensha South. Oba Beye Ebra Shibeni or Mensha South, 2012, Amani Kunim. 2016, so, I said in Kunim for about 20. We will be our some party. I bring the lawyer director of elections, am I a party? No. Now go for Daroma, Ghana for Daroma. Ebra, Penny, another for Eyi no. Se o meye osafo a wo hwe Ghana yade sua so yenya be kai se na MPP 2016 ade a na ejina campaign mu pa se yade free senior high school beba ama do ni bi ama ejanka so nya kwan ti mako school ni bi yewra Dr. Matubu Prepe na prenso na ye sha ye start free senior high school 2017 free senior high school neighbor na nipa de bi gba fi se afre na ban na ba tie nya abotre ne entwen ifie be mienu o miensa asa na de fi senior high school na ba na so enam se Dr. Matubu Prepe onim de na wonim de opeso wo ye na onim se sebi the fi senior high school na ambantema ye mofra ni ku ha iskasem ti mo mutimi ku aso ojina ne na mu ka se ye nkofo ne ka se ene yi no ebe yi ampa 2017 free senior high school no ebaye and now so as minister for education na fi kwano kuma parents be na na mofra motako senior high school no do na no then 800,000 na so free senior high school buy no the part do na free 800,000 akodu 1.2 million na no you have to come out to Prepe the standard man if you know just to be Abraham Manfeni and Adam Kufuado eyi ni se onkoye energy minister but also ejuma wo ye Ghana fo nye ni se bi na nu ya du so kakra ba ya ye ka ne bobo na ni na ka ye ka ne na gina so ama Ghana fo nya de tin sampa na sisaye bam ama ye ka nya no gina ho elko na nu kra anya ne bobo na ni no ye nya hu se enam se yura data Matubu Prepe wonim denti entepana na ofa no a ene yenya gitum se ye kanya no egina so ye pa samne ayi no se o ma be ye frakatuni abedi eche ma MPP amayoku no ire Matubu Prepe nipa o wa badaye o nipa o kanipa bom o nipa o wa botre itim kofo nipa 30 party o dije se Say yeah,
18 after 8. And the General Secretary of the NPP, and what's in Kano. Gordon, Maminti, just about a few minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Now, Yamra, the other substantive issues. No, so.
Okay, I thought you were boxing with the appointment, the selection.
I said, no, not they are can you have
discuss you. Allow points from you.
Because you see,
because
you see, me tier and Crawford after the approval. Our person mo touting achievement. I'm right now or minister for education. And I be minister for energy. And trying to compare it with Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman. And I'll take my time in just few minutes to do that and settle the issue. In the first instance, Maakye Opoku Prempeh is a doctor, and yet doctor of book, or a medical doctor. Medical doctor, you studied for 6 years. Anameboa, 6 years. After 6 years finished, if you want to equate the level of a medical doctor to anybody, it is equated to somebody holding master's degree. Anameboa. Until the level of Maakye Opoku Prempeh is equal to that of mine. Because micro masters. Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman, after the first degree, I call a PhD. And PhD, the minimum is 4 years. After I acquire PhD for 4 years, minimum, no, it will take you years to rise to become a professor. And before you become a professor, no, now articles and books are what churo. Now impact of lives are we making. It needs to be necessary assessing in order to award you the title professor. In the academics, it is undoubted say omunja is a comparison because napo academic credentials who they compare Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman just 1 out of 10 Prof Ikura. Now let's go into achievement in holding ministerial positions. You can be achieve something as a minister, and yet the mere implementation of a policy, because policy be our so and the bottom line. Since the implementation of free SHS, what has come out of it? And you can say dia every mwaba, and yet dia mene wo ebeka. Mikasa the idea, but because I say yenti nimdi for more education, which your friend on stakeholders. Assessment so far with regards to free SHS, and it has been abysmal. It has been abysmal. I won't lie to you. Your free SHS and ne compared to the handing over my MPP no, and now must say in education, and there are school 1 month. No, I bet not fear more than 2 months. Contact hours has been reduced. Or say double track. Just temporal for 5 years. Your 8th year, double track is still there. And we are na the Ministry of Education. Now, under the era of Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman, you handle over 123 e-blocks and a man. Report during transition. Our Lankasa reported to the media. Actually, say a man 46 fully completed e-blocks. Which were in operation just for 4 years and 8 years. Bear in mind, John Mahama AD 4 years, 6 months. So 123 e-blocks was within this time and 8 years. 2, before I ever hand you over education man Naponu, na Ghana you check what we call free sandals. Or buy it with him. Now you check free uniform. Or buy it with him. Or buy it now you check laptops. Which is portable than what today Omodima a teacher for. And I quite remember me a beneficiary of that policy because I'm a child there then. Before, Mr. Speaker, you better check laptops. Almost about 90% of teachers then you take you on through ICT training software. Said your mom on laptops now, they won't fumble with it. Aside and also you check laptops and my schools nankasa. Because when you teach a you can be transferred at any time. Until you acquire the laptops in the so the question is, what then will be left with the school? Until you check my school soon, said you transfer as a teacher, you won't go with it. the next teacher will come and use it, and the next student will also benefit from it. What can I say? So it tells you how we reasoned. It tells you how under Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman or reason here under the time or introduce you progressively free SHS. Children were still eating nutritious food, and yet the media more recorded day in day out. Under Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman, young ran double track. Under Professor Jenana Opoku Agyeman, now we call them basic school because education is not only about the secondary schools. Now EMS, English, Maths, and Science textbooks. Now you're one child to one EMS textbook. And then for the past 8 years, master science curriculum, our schools and students still don't have official government textbooks. In the teacher fortunately from what we call PAC. Omuko online, echo research, even without giving them research allowance. With that little salary of theirs, what's on that headache of depriving them of textbook? Rather, omuko online, echo search and so on much radio. And no BBN say in basic school, I say, because government needs to say the secondary school is where just after school, no, I can only at 18. Into a focus war and omejai yen basic school. But let me end with the energy. Mr. Speaker, your energy, your German Napo was a very strong energy sector. It is undoubted, say Alhaji Bawumia Kasaji Tumu say John Mahama solved Dumso before he left. One solving the keke, but on making provision because maybe a problem with energy, no, say anya capacity na your finance. Until after or solving the capacity problem, which MPP bar power catch and say John Mahama my capacity am I then I'm an abroso, so that one is not in doubt. So the next question was, how will we solve the financial problem? And when I kaya or the Esla buy our MPP friend nuisance tax. Esla gave or keeps giving this country annually over 3 billion. Over 3 billion. But Minuka say young energy sector debt at triple because this energy sector scanning yeno. We have collateralized that money. Akoji loan up front and yedi woyanum. Because yentimi amfentua that energy sector debt. Into Bakaya, day in, day out, independent power producers keep threatening the government because Abai Ediomoka. Before the energy sector Bema Napo, na Ghana doing so was a thing of the past. And UTA or secretary or admit it said doing so Abaye. But on the problem, they said they want to compare which Dumso is better than which Dumso. That is not Ghanaians' problem. Your problem, they say, Mukachina and say Dumso will not even happen a day or even an hour. It is about a day, Krampa. It is contrary to the promise you gave the people of Ghana. In the energy sector, Weja, I can't call you running mate, no. Energy sector. Eka adokro bad energy sector, and I wonder the next energy minister what he's going to do, because our energy sector is not strong.
Very well.
Do you get it? But let me end with this. No problem. The issue of say on person compare Napo with Prof. No, let's set the record straight. Omunjai. As for young Prof, a vice driver into a kasa yetie because yenim say nyansa son obi a wa impacting life including the life of Afenyo Markins, majority leader of parliament, Professor Jenano Opoku Agyeman echere na de. So if they are proud of Afenyo Markins, then they should be prouder of
his teacher.
Of his teacher. Into yende ye obu mano. Unlike one omu vice president as mate. Sorry for me to say useless. Who doesn't come to the table with anything? No? I don't see why you want to compare an empty somebody yourself you describe empty. I'm back to the table with anything to Obia Oba with the Oba on the table with something. Okay. So we should stop that comparison. The best pair for 2024 election is the John and Jay pair. And you see, Mr. Speaker, so local assembly, you see, and I will end with that. Trying to make the comparison that NDC and Bonnie Homo, the maybe I make a share. The reason why I Ghana fought to Abatia John Mahama was not because John Mahama was not doing good. And a human life. Obia, you see, Oliver Twist will always ask for more. So upon all the infrastructure project, all the development, under John Mahama, we had people promising heaven and earth. I.e., 1 million per each constituency, 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam. Akolebia benya chocolate. Why netisa anumdemun semua? He didn't go for it because they thought if only a tuma or no mobeya. Ghana be fan in tuma pie there. Efra. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously, so TS and semini dia. You vote irrespective of what you were enjoying under John Mahama. But thank God, 8 years on, you would undoubtedly agree, say, John Dramani Mahama is indeed a visionary leader, and we need to bring him back.
May I say, Mama, a year 29 after 8, but Solomon also Ewaha. Godwin Mahama and a citizen at Todazi, General Secretary in Swatendasi. Council marching. And Remy who post to me. Council marching, come to say,
Mr. Speaker Majodo.
You be fine.
Uncle point enough.
Now, the men are moving of flag bearer and a mobile running mate. As a much I do.
Oh, you know, Yacha.
Does it?
In your meal, Yajun.
But one I bear flag bearer, Nana.
Oh, David.
The world would have been happy.
You're the chief of staff.
Mr. Speaker, and Pema Minchel. Now, wife for Papa.
Oh, thank you.
Your Louis Vuitton shirt easy.
Yeah, you know, to know.
You know, now, Maminchia, Mamunia Solo. Na Godwin. Na ete from Pimpima will tell National Flower Show. You see, I'm somebody I try in terms of personalities. I will not run any personality down. I think the Yamambuna Yerbunu it has become so much personal because of how Yayen over the years. And the NPP itself is getting a feedback from what the tone they set years back. That is what they are being measured with. So I am one when they keep saying it's like you people don't see anything good.
Oh, I am more cancer.
Oh, you know. I have a friend that ended that. In fact, on Facebook, he commented on my picture and he was saying, I shouldn't come back and come and talk and always complain or something like that. But you see, in opposition, what did government do about on it? Do you remember anything? Energy sector issues. And what's Mama and fine here among your seminal? They made I don't know how to describe it.
A serious political capital
out of it.
I remember a Mary deal.
All the things that you said we should not make politics with. That's what you did. But didn't they be some there? And you see, today they even say they want Ghana and Kanye and Ujinado. See, and I will always refer to this. Omampenyin Kufuor, Oja Omampenyin Atamos. The same way Ghana had been all these years, where we were heavily dependent on hydro. Our GBC was always showing us the levels of the Akosombo Dam. Adebia yet one I say in Sunta, na yaro bompe de Yankopon Mensunto na Akosombo, Mamon yo. That is what was given to Atamos. And that was what Ghana had been dependent on all these years from Kwame Nkrumah's time. In there, what is Ghana dependent on? It's turmoil. It took somebody's innovative idea to shift us from that. You understand? Oh yeah, turmoil. When James were there, let it find its way of getting fuel. Oh yeah, tuabo gas. At the first phase, is saving Ghana over $300 million each year. Mo beno, mo ye renaming and realignment and relocation. Sometimes when I say these things, and say, hey, you see, I am a maybe I'm a kind of America sender the way I'm talking, so that our children are bench, I can still say the things I'm saying.
Exactly.
But some of the MPP communicators, they are workers, and I wonder when they go to opposition, what they will say. Because you see, let us cure the mischief today. Look, I won't fair. There, we still wake up every morning seeing that we have invested over 350 million Ghana cedis into the biggest dugout.
National Cathedral.
Oh, yeah, fair. When there are people dying, oh, yeah, fair. Then we wake up to a cedi to $1, as 16 Ghana cedis to $1. When you made a lot of noise, when the cedi was even at 3 Ghana cedis 20 pesos. Amampenyin Akufo-Addo mounted podium kade Kufuor time $1 1 cedi. Mills Mahama $1 3 cedis 20 pesos. Na nkobia nkobe fold up na wakọ na wapagana for choda mambu na audition sa wontu wembuntu wonje. But the money under the carpet is sweet. You made noise that time. And today when it's $1 to 16 Ghana cedis, I should be clapping for you that you are doing well. These are issues. And these are the issues that we campaign on, not on personalities. For me, Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Yeah, Napo.
Sebi Odame Busiema, with all the academic qualifications that he has, I think Harvard trained, somebody who had gotten some, there are very fantastic things that he has achieved. And I will continue to applaud him for it. There are things that people can learn from him as an individual. I encourage they wish that they will even go higher than him. That is fantastic. Onkwadu no nyama nkofu hunde oye wono ho awurusuan. Na nyama onye na nkofo kan onte no nsesa. Because the good thing with all of us in public life is that people will point out our bad deeds to us. Mr. Speaker, my quiet na meeting baby obi mbeka hwentrem. But my mean fa there me pede me ko public office. Oh, me na cancer baby o wi a me nyim baby a wo sie no wo bekyerem. But you see, when they tell us those things, it is an opportunity for us to take it in our quietness to see what we can do about it and make ourselves better. But Omampeyi Nanado na wa medjuma na yedin for Napo and Baumia. The reason is that in opposition, the kind of things they told us, our power, we've seen a sharp contrast to those things. One man confused Joe Biarendi. And that la nekasa. Kofu say that's mutu opposition as ya the mama mu. GCPP amount stay ya kasa GCPP for munya power ntina mo ya marmuru ye. Me ya mama power mo be there na do why. We are being measured by the current administration. The kind of things Solomu when they told us in opposition. Yama want power in there no. Yama want power. Look.
Me movement for change member. Minimum then, me a movement for change number.
Disclaimer.
You see, and Oyam one there.
The German bro.
Mr. Speaker, Oyam one there in the solo is distancing himself. Even the vice president has distanced himself. We have a vice president who says he has his own vision. We have a vice president who says that we have a vice president who is promising us taxes at port. Obey to Togo. You see, these are the issues that confront us today. Honorable Matobogu Pempeyamana Kwaba.
Okay.
To the ticket of the NPP. Nejuma Waye would help us to discuss the issues. And Nejuma Waye at the energy sector. Keke. Nejuma Waye with energy sector. Keke. Yembi said to or Yejuma na on Yejuma. To Tamawaya refinery. 2016, it was working. What is happening to Tamawaya refinery now? Obey innovative ideas on other bar. But rather, we are supporting a private person.
Already.
Oil foreign owned to come and refine oil in Ghana.
Is it really foreign owned?
You understand? Really? This is what we are doing to ourselves. Under him, we've started talking about tree cutting for charcoal. You that them campaigning because you move Ghanaians more towards gas. Because gas was cheaper. Now you talk gas was cheaper than you talk blue kotoku. And the gas nkofun tumunto. Inti you have resort to using charcoal. Emma ya start the campaign again. Oh yeah, how? Oh yeah,
very well.
Must submit me timetable. When he asked us to submit a timetable, I submitted mine.
For Dumsono.
Including Aminoye lawyer Andrew Appiah Dankwa. We submitted our timetable. One kasa yen one time yen sebi. Ghana for now, you did 2 months. It's for your timetable, because we are complaining. You see, so these are the people that we are going to deal with, and it is up to I don't blame we politicians. I blame we the electorate, because I'm a politician. I'm an electorate as well. We are a voter. And aside of we being politicians, we are voters as well. I blame Yara Nkasa. Name me blame Yara. Our man pay me blame Yara the abatu no one soon sando. Mama debia yankado or ya me party or ya me party.
Very well.
Let's deal with the issues.
Thank you. My first that be my best brain publication that'll pay one more abwa ye pa best brain the empacho one more the textbooks I hold on at the about drama so one more ejina a year naka curriculum so and a short textbooks no at the abam pacho. From nursery level, Ekwa Kosi Senior High School. Subject Bia Obani Sunya Ewo School Mubia no best brain publication for the home crata Abba Bontain. So open integrated science, open a year JHS career technology textbooks ebi creative arts textbooks ebi social studies, religious and moral education, mathematics no obenyebe. Oba the senior high school open core math, integrated science, English, biology, government books no ebi at the nursery level. More per literacy for the nursery, more per numeracy for nursery, more per early childhood writing for nursery 1 and 2. Ni nyina mpacho best brain actual ede abamonten so na and he just say auto best brain book mpacho one more ede footages ede account pictures and a videos and kasa abofra no ekenkan bibi na wonti ase a pen drive ni nie ya ye video form na watimi ahwe eno no eboa build abofra no app na man nim de nso ekosopa anopay oya wofo na wotie mi apacho bookshop bi abewram bia o se open the best brain for atro na watimi e de ama wo ba no open do mo atu a for 0507 200 200 0507 200 200 and for 05 0241 520946 0241 520946 na one best brain for any enkomo anope na womo ebeje wo so pa Emma's Global Link Limited for other Roma. According to host said ye, Pacho Papa no ahanewo. Uye student na opese okotua wa disunya so wa manane se wo koye masters and na PhD and opay a sena effata se woni a year. Emma's Global Link Limited for ebedi enkomo wamo ebeje so na afi wamo ayesese ni nyina no media boa ni teacher say wamo provider with document ebebo wamo secure visa ne de Emma's Global Link Limited for other Roma ana sa akwanya no wamo betimi ama wonsa aka pacho oye professional person a teacher a nurse a doctor o pese wotu kwan ko wiase afa na ba bia ekoto abrabo ne so ho a woni Emma's for eni nkomo anopai ukokumase a wamo ewa safo labor wamo ne senate office no edi enhwani Nkran womo ewo White Cross Junction ewo Weja Kaswa Main Road no eso and pay for MX4 on 0504 203401 and after 0535 502499 na woni MX4 eni nkomo anopay na womo ebeje so Pacho Eclipse Collateral Management for that Romano pay one more senior wa Japadi and Kratano and some faso do pa and she said we Japadi run now why yen Krata to a Japadi so and pay Eclipse some more money say we bet me in Kratana na I feel one more dia year Juma etua commission and watching open loan from a bank facility no Pacho o collateral no enso enti amawonsa entime enkaye and pay Eclipse one more da roba one more beboa still with collateral and value no ebe equivalent to facility a open na timi aboa na wetimi e dia show business and pay call Abakan Street e wa Denton new site na for omo on 0266999020 0266999020 and for 0302551877 na when Eclipse for any nkomo anopay na womo ebeje wo so ye pa. But it's quarter to 9 na St. Louisa local rice at Daroma and weekend ya woko Ghana mo anunsu eye papa na ye correct direct from the farms I am for bibia and mono the natural taste of rice and ye de mano St. Louisa local rice and opay wutie me weekend you be ye parties ahodo engagement weddings ahodo ebe koso Pacho enuani amo ya mo behia mo no St. Louisa local rice and American for edia mamu ye pa Pacho onu asi ho a eche ensei entinsuo enyinya enyehwe eno no papa eno nchi anopei ba wonsan ka bi ebeboa wapomodin ye pa afese wutie me opese wutu ne dodo mu koton na eno no be ye o business a betimi aboa mo anya sika gu botom pocho dia anopei esese woni St. Louisa for edi enkomo na womo ebeje so pa from 0277 452742 0277 452742 and after 0546 242343 0546 242343 na when St. Louisa in the enkomo adope. We need a Mr. Speaker Kwame Appiah Kubi 46 after 8. Mame mrada mintie solo esanse enkomo no bebre na no ewo ho na endra NDC amanyokuo no nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ enhyia mudie na wɔn kyerɛ mu sɛ ɔmampanyin na adodankɔ Akufo-Addo any Chief Justice wɔn ɛboa pa sɛ wɔn san pɛ sɛ wɔn pa judge for enum ma wɔn san so continue Supreme Court na wɔn kɔyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ hɔ na NDC party no ekyerɛ mu a ɛyɛ ade a Ghana bakwasɛm mu deɛ ebi nsi da sɛ nipa num a wɔn ɛkan a wɔn adi ka di ho nkɔmɔ ma Judicial Council na tena se aye meeting e propose si inform din ko no ekoka ho ana kyese Akufo-Addo ba ye na ban ko ano a appoint a judge for mako 20 a ebi NC da ewo ye Supreme Court no na bakwasem na wo mo kyerɛ mu sɛ Professor Mills a wanya ne baabi kɔ ne John Mahama mfie nwɔtwe ombedi ye nyinaa no appointment a wo mo ye ediko Supreme Court na ye nso Professor Mills appointee nipa miensa John Mahama nso appointee nipa 9 enti ekoba ne sen ana omampanyin ba akopedie nipa mako 20 eno no staffing of our Supreme Court na eno no ho nkomo ana ye baso na watwi mu anso ana Chief Justice ene Supreme Court no throw out Martinami do petition they call yes Office of the Special Prosecutor no yenyi kisi ajabe emfem free ho and also court no aboni nyina no ediegu ye be kan komo emi enu abom na ye de ho nkomo so lo mami nti osimedu ewo we ho
The woman say, Emremuno dear, I'm the citizens why. Emremuno, Oman a bit me up on Nipa best 1 billion. Akwe Supreme Court. Na eno natural say baby ayedru no. Your constitution, so constitutional review committee no, or say any mebu ehweni. Before said the framers of the constitution no more adwempa. O man nan so that say e bedru baby e benya president bia or ye reckless in terms of appointment. Because obaye no. Nipa do say no how the person will appoint here now appoint here. Especially a cow base 5 months. To the oja okra so bi bana say ba ku bi wo no di ahyemu a. Na ye de. Ana Emrebi National Security Minister and coordinator Kasai. Urakanapa. Or see the way manner your Supreme Court judges no. Rulings na a free hoban. Yakwe one-sided no. Mwame democracy enye de. Enkwenim. Now your Supreme Court you know. Over the years, so much say massa. And it's so everywhere. Say appoint tibia assemble one mekamo. And into wo so akogu say dey be in the future no. Modi boni awie na ensem no goduru ani aka ma mo na ye nye ne sa e di me fi say yetumi nya president na say one dey say minimum ye 9 na ye ni ceiling no so be kwa akoso dey na che say immediately e was say ye di ceiling no eto Ghana your population ye say 33 million say when we go through na year 20 Nigeria with a population of 230 million no near no Supreme Court judges because Nigeria was 21 Supreme Court judges. India with a population of 1.4 billion, 1.44 billion, is got almost surpass China. Almost Supreme Court judges 33. America, among Asian democracy, if you are the go to America, you could do America. Supreme Court judges 9. Maybe if it's a lower cost, no crown or say per judges more. Now, and not just more. You see, you have quality judges. I'm telling you,
that's a standard number for
me. There are some rulings and any law that defines common sense and as a judgment, they define common sense be a judgment, Papa. Because law is based on common sense. Now we are bukata. Enuti yen training womo yen resource womo ni ewo at the lower court, circuit court, high court, appeals court, and what's them to be called that appeals court by years near free. Na se ye kan ye o appeals court e better na do Supreme Court, ye kan ye o high court e better na ko appeals court. Yen so a catch us and also o man no o fa ye budgeter in a year nyoma mienu pa de di esika.
Yeah.
Compensations and then emolument yeah can yeah pe kwan beti so na yeah pe kwan beti so Supreme Court judge obefo bia oko under Article 71
yeah and the APO mogum sir.
Now you have a candidate of the New Patriotic Party saying so oba be maw your friend is say obe control expenditure already now that who be free so no move push mu asem and no natural said the MPP believes say or co-opposition. Also now can be about say the free SHS bill so akwa to parliament.
Yes, and then yeah last topic.
Yes, when you have indication say party ni believe say me co-opposition. And this a man fast and fill in a man for the people be ankongu a me nya sa opportunity ni bio. And I say me nya no na che. Ana me I owe a lot of people some favors. Look, there is a danger with what in fact with Jack's case. Judge, what's the new Supreme Court? What are you telling the public? You're near 17 years, and this is a highly charged political atmosphere.
Yeah.
Obia any DHR. Not Judge, Walker already know Japako Kota, Ninsemi or Convert was a petition. What petition said Judge the conduct be Nanin Yahoo. Not you be one, yes, a judge in the Supreme Court. The judge may be deserving of the appointment, but the timing of your appointment, you know. Ebema or the sa baggage no akoninim nani nyina kokowie say there is lack of trust and confidence in the system and it's a movement for change yeah catch Ghana for say baby ayedru no we an independent candidate or the afani afa ebebum ya nya ne sa o man no polarize o look otoma NDC ne Oba, you do me, I do you. Every year, I buy change year, I share my toilet, I can assure you. MPP for NDC for Pamom. You do Abu Blue share the same thing. But who the independent candidate bar? Mr. Speaker, why the Quaco idea? So short, Marcia.
Yeah.
Yet the Ghana foreign citizen, that's your TA, but we are we are not looking at him, sir, of the GCPP. No, we are looking at him from an angle of his competence. Mr. Speaker, the TA, obet me ya juma na so ya ye nyina ho beto ya na e krobien we developer ya de square pegs question round holes mu me yan bi ne bi yan this in the amount position won deserve kra de amount no makwa say o man na affect ye nyina because e kom ni ohia ye nam yi and discriminate ye senka discriminated ya kabini seka ye be fa ni sa but we there NDC wo MPP wo movement wo GCPP wo identity info mum betumi aye adwuma no. And it may say Ore Akufo-Addo were disappointed the framers of the constitution. Were disappointed of mine. Now I hope say yeah man go say yeah talk so na ya afemo mu sisia. Omo hold on aka 5 months oral and chamate ba omehwem. Say bi omo no kura na ye be ma omo ko retirement no aka na say bi kura ya pa omo chem na say ma resign swati esonte. Because all cases are here, they go na case in so ba. Eduma ya found some no. Munyan free of fast so be uncle baby. And yes, say in any case, Obi catch me say
it is a way of bringing people into the Article 71. May that is my belief.
I sector top now. Oma say o mine sika.
Because Obaha or retire on the leave. But even if that is the case, from Court of Appeal, you retire on your salary.
And America say you take room. There be a argument say a tax to GDP. 13%. And into me and develop your mind. But of course Singapore tax to GDP 13%. Omo man ye developed. Kakra na eba begu kenteni mo. E wo so hwesu. Na wo wie ye kwagigi tax nyina na side automatic 71 holders. Na politicians you ba na obi ba no obi ni case so na Land Cruiser otimusa esanse fi won on to. Na me ni mienu ye ni hu hantwo. Na ye bre and it a waste a problem with the taxpayers a year. And he said, yes, so maybe if he's a man Benny Akufo-Addo, the point in and come and go.
Okay. For OSP, the ADC Mammy, now member on your mark.
OSP, Nankasa, that office was first of all not needed. It was a needless office. Now, you play to the gallery too much. Because a dear pan, if you say OSP, a bit me, say ye. Attorney General or General Mine who resource no. A lot of lawyers we school na kaso monko ages department so monko what was on the job so monko
I say incentives ninja
fantastic and so the problem is not creating another office. The problem is getting obia or General Mine first of all. Number 2, what resource that office no. No one did the Jumedi as I say anti-corruption institutions. Your Yoko, your OSP, your NIB, your Shraj, yeah. The woman you did man
CID.
Yakoto Pudio $1 Biden a share or buy him and pass it. Ya to me and anti-corruption institutions and Shemu umbrella issues no Obia ya body, Obia ya mango, Obia ya coco or them jabum. Nipa na ye ko hu topabu money wona ne pass no what take gat mo kire here odona me no ka say efina sa ye ma $43 million ayira na ya yen ko kwasa sa institutions mienu yo OSP Yoko we say kowe we mu we so an kan say na attorney general so atro we need to me why we do mo dey man no anything media any future government to say the oral and chamateka no your proposal they say we will consolidate all the anti-corruption agencies. Edomaba under one umbrella. Near the Mrabe Brine one, ya consolidating ya. And they say, who you be a friend is Obedanwa. And it makes sense down. So where about when you're within your remit. Where's within your remit? Not gonna scan a head. Echo. OSB buy pa or buy ye Monkenya Miswasem. Dear so pan and dear bray. Tell my papa grand quantity la bianca or the jay. I know away.
Yeah.
dear mfa so pa na no kra de wonu aba be jankwa no ma be de me wodi o kra na de bo afore adwuma no so seun and you see ye kro man ye misconstrue obi acquire certificate with management ka ubetwe wo wiase credentials nyina ye wo professors a me come how to manage himself small ontumi etidie abrabo pan no wo in the managerial space where they kwa command and the same issue happened with Martin Amidu where no actual epistle according to Martin but there is difference between management and being a lawyer they share in recruitment in Krabe 1 year no to me afi o he near dey no actual no kane unua so ba ya o ye so be ya no akokra cars akese no dia be ye the cars na ekohen energy media sa office ne dia esuni mfa so but timing of it uko yiri free osisi anso a e be se
abatro so
na sa office na nkasa se ekoso awo ho na Alan enyi ni ntebo a odi NBB fo bi be kojim
I see.
And I said, Chrono, I cost sa ben women, Chrono, reactively, Mr. Speaker. And then tell Mrs. Sometimes want to reach them documents in be. Now, what did me say now? Book Chrono crowns on your smart and gown. But me up book Chrono in power, but before so be free, so documents near the desert, where straight to his home.
I see. Very well. My member Godwin should have been here. Godwin have been here on this.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
As for Afrafanto, I normally me who want so money yen share the same objectives because yen na yesusu say aban no em money ho modern. So normally I don't want to go on them, but to say NDC ni MPP akoye no ho one way and thing just because hwe obi bia be kai history a emra Professor Mills ebaye we left MPP appointees specifically DCs for good 6 months still in office. Yes or no? This is a fact.
Fact.
But the reason why you want to say, now can you say, the time has come. Said the Okano that we now take all no should have changed. So Mills was trying to observe something, but a jar want to or no. And Dane said that was the time another Omuyi document, SSC offices, and that is why people feel like we couldn't prosecute them. Because that was the advantage they got out of the fact that Atamus Eja won. Until you see lesson out of it. So the fact is that we are not the same. NDC has always thought right for this country. 2, may I very happy say Article 71 issue came into your discussion. John Mahama Aka emphatica. I'm MPP for Bonisobo. Say on to me, ya obey your own father wajenembra. But forgetting said the origin then is lawful and then illegal. Who pays for him besides? Who approves for him to even take those monies? But wakase abrabo munedum pempen subia. You say no to certain things. Into your Article 71 ba obekem. And thank God the Speaker of Parliament just this week and making the same assertion say this ex gratia thing outlive its purpose. Nti yeni na yejitu mu say yentwem ex gratia is needless now. Ade bia ma ex gratia eba bia no yensi hu kwan. I've heard people saying say a delay as a result of the formation of the monument committee, because now me know as a parliament, the 8th parliament did the 7th parliament salary. So we will form the monument committee after this 8th parliament about to a year. So more or less like back pay. No more the certain amount being swear there account. What we can do is that immediately I ever swear the 9th parliament within a month or 2, you set a monument committee. Omundi tell me the 8th parliament and the 9th parliament salary, so that they omu deserve no money. Do you get me? So that ex gratia will be a thing of the past. John Mahama has made a firm promise on that. Now Minko, starting with OSP issue, and 8 years on, Ghana Nibia be confirmed said the position of the NDC has come to reality. Of the fact said the establishment of the office of the OSP is needless. Duplication of position. Yempe position man crofone mumbedi. Because from day one yaka and 8 years on a show say even office of the attorney general prosecutions are 1 year far outweighs prosecution at OSBI. Nti yesusu say if ye pe bibia yendi couple office of attorney general and office of justice na enumbo will be better so that we can resource them. But me gusuka say the reason why omudi OSP buy any say omususu say OSP no ba bechichi NDC for inti yanti OSP's office embe chichi NDC for and inti omu sha ase ekofa NDC ni ano ye agree with the party thinking say omudi ono chi NDC for ebeka say mo amu nipa na achiche mo. But thank God ono nkasa ma ya ti ase say ye ka keta ase proye mu premier ne maami a mother serpent of corruption a ene ye na na Danko Akufo-Addo nti nipa na no mo so ombe kuntia keta ase proye dwini ni kankan no ono nkasa ama ya ti ase say aban no paw na nkasa no aban ne ye kromfo enu nti so no wonti mi nya adwuma enne kisie jabe is virtually saying the same thing because omu man kwa ma ni nya adwuma nti na nan say o say oye ankwano or the nekra agba afore oye de obetimi aye ni minedu obeko because omu nya no ma nye. Now let me delve into press conference and I'll make it so simple. Yes, you see Mattis and Crawford say let's do amendment to our constitution. I agree. But Tom Ribia, let's speak truth to people. Let's speak truth to people. You see, Abanwe be confirm me a lot of things and now focus say the constitution is not good because the president in a pound for they are abusing the constitution. They are abusing the constitution. 8 years of the NDC, Mahama and Mills are appointed nipa 4 echo Supreme Court. Mahama appointed nipa 4. Mills are appointed 3. Mahama are appointed 4. Now the Danko Akufo-Addo in 8 years are appointed 15. SMP 5 account na ye 20. Why? But anumpo as I say your issue, no mean call on to the Chief Justice. You see, Chief Justice Atomra what to the Constitutional Republic of Ghana mra. And I will start with this. Okay, Article 2:1. Mr. Speaker, you are a law student. And thank God
you have just 2 minutes.
A lawyer is here. Okay, Article 2:1. I'll see any person who alleges that an omission or an act. So sometimes it can be an act or omission which is against the Constitution of Ghana. Aside that, no, there is a clear indication say Chief Justice officially actually command Mampeni say ono recommend nipa 5 say young appointee one enko Supreme Court. The SCA say is it within her remit to do that? Emra ne kwan and Emra man kwan. The fact is Emra man kwan. Ukai Article 144 actually how to appoint people, specifically judges, to the Superior Court, i.e. the High Court, Court of Appeal, and a Supreme Court. And some powers nini na vested in the president. Anameboa. The reason why I'm say the framers of the Constitution are the Chief Justice that Akwanyane say, Mr. Speaker, so okay, Article 153 establishing the Judicial Council. So you are aware.
Yes.
And the Judicial Council is headed by the Chief Justice. So there is that opportunity, say Mampeni Epa Osankrofono with the advice of the Council of State, Ebeba move the technical people in him to do the assessment and approve or disapprove. Anameboa. So the chairperson of the Judicial Council, who now you be as who recommend the people to be appointed to the Supreme Court. Then what would then mean is say you have prejudiced the fact say Samba Judicial Councillor already you have approved of the people. Right. Do you get me? And looking at Yeka said that conspiracy between the Chief Justice and a Mampeni to pack the court before Omube fee Abenwane, so which we know they will go no a affront to the Constitution and the Chief Justice Atomra. She must do the needful.
But I say, Godwin, thank you. 7 after 9. I hire Kessben. My main fast that be my Bayport savings and loans now. I don't pay Bayport for that rubber. I'm patchouli, quite so. one more at the fixed deposit no account no aba. I don't say what you man pay and patch the obey no and it's a obebo evra a Bayport branch BM na afi wakwa create fixed deposit account wo but okay to 5,000 Ghana and above obey to me edu sika no aye investment for 3 months 6 months and that's 1 year depending on the amount when they ban Bayport for no bet na one negotiate interest as say ba sika ni nyina so eba na afi to me aboa sika no aye adwuma awo e de amount ye no pay wo pay we na afi Bayport branches in there ati say wo my Ghana no nyina no charo pay say wo tie me na won kran a obetumi akọ branches ni nyina but the teacher open komoyi mu nchemu pa ne ntiase yie pa dia obekọ branch a eno no ewo kokomlemle ATTC school no enchen ho apẹ na woni Bayport for any enkomo wamu beje so na afei wo mo cheche ni ma ye e dia ma pa for Bayport on 0245 153283 0245153283 and after 0263 007922 0263 007-922 now woni Bayport any enkomo and pay your future is now. My first than be my Filmat Institute of Media Studies. Na Filmat is and they watch our banner ninja who so be ya be and some Johnny Mapadia. As I said, what they know about Filmat. Watch our lecture periods, are very flexible. Wamoko school on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Saturdays. And pay one more amount a year 70% practical experience. Now, one more than 30% theory no area campus. Kosao Todoko, Aliu Mahama Road no ezo. Eho ana obehu a Filmat Institute of Media Studies. And pay from 0549 655 649 0549 655 649. Now, when a Filmat training komo ano pay for one more, na one bejo so far. One more daroma ano pay one more boy. So me bounce na mamema a year Dennis Appiah Achena Memana Kwaba, member of the NPP's communication team. I don't pay why late papa. Dennis watching as saying
Boko now say
already the
impressive for me doing Tamon Fanche. And soon them is a machine in a bad Jenica Crow from Nimti, ever heard any atasibi.
I see. I like it that way. But that's it. But I'm call cancer for mess up house. So Martin, no. That's all, mommy, Entio.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
My main for OSP na some infantike. It is true that I will add my voice to this. I think Solona Godwin they said something similar. There it looks like under the current dispensation, it has entrenched that position there. There are so many things wrong with our constitution. But that is not what it's supposed to be. I don't think there is something seriously wrong. But what it had exposed our constitution in there, Obi Betum we use the same constitution. Or they did someone be because everybody thought there you will be reasonable in some of the things that you do. You'll be a bit more considerate and look at the bigger picture. But unfortunately, constitution also bar certain things. So you cannot use the same law to say, okay, you have flouted this. Okay?
Me too.
And it's in various areas, in terms of ministerial positions, in terms of all these things. Yeah. I mean, there's so much leeway.
There are no caps on it.
You understand? So, but then, no, be after you'll be reasonable in sometimes some of these things. But, well, I don't know. Even where there are clear law, there are serious breaches of it. OSP, I don't subscribe that it was a bad thing.
Okay.
Because OSP office will be way. Now we save a lot of money, sir. We will not be condemning it as we are saying. Or will not be thinking we should scrap it off. But it's because of the results. The scorecard. Obon. So you think that that sector or that institution versus the output. how do we say there, really, we have gotten something serious out of it? Because I remember when we all hailed it. Because you see, the Attorney General's office, Attorney General is appointed by the president and has a term of office. And the president decided, oh, yeah, Attorney General, on to make a. But the OSP was supposed to have security of tenure of office. So we can't be comparing it. You understand? So we can't say that, okay, Attorney General office in more Akaza, they could have performed better functions. No. The Attorney General is so answerable to the president. Direct. And yet, as the president catch all the end, Master Sanwa, you are going. But OSP is not like that.
Okay.
But you see, in the same situation, I realize that this is the time we've created so many different institutions and we are duplicating efforts. On my wastage no also no. There, we have Yoko. We have now we call it NBI. Now it's an NBI.
NIB.
It's NBI.
NBI.
Yes.
I see.
National Bureau.
NIB is NIB.
No, it's not NIB now.
Every BNI. You all agree that every BNI.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Is it NIB?
NIB.
Okay. All right. So we have that. We have Nkofia Debia one of them was no, you come up. National security. So the last time I was even telling somebody that this time we have 3 different ministries all in charge of security.
Yeah.
And so Inca it should tell anybody how serious we take issues of security. But at the same time, we are having serious security breaches. Serious. So I think it is about how we are letting the institutions work.
Okay.
That is the problem. Sometimes we don't want the institutions to work. We seem to Ghana Ngutena automatic adjustment formula is manually operated. You understand? We manually operate an automatic adjustment formula. It's only in Ghana. So systems that are there for them to work, we are manually operating the systems and are not allowing the systems to work. That is why we will find a problem with all these institutions. But in the idea of it, Mr. Speaker, if you go outside Ghana, Ghana, we have an office of the special prosecutor. We have office of this. We have Yoko. We have this. The assumption is that Ghana is perfect. Because we seem to have certain institutions and BB audit the now is supposed to, but we are not allowing those systems to work. And that is the problem. And I think that is what we should channel our energies to. That let us get our institutions to start working and work well. But mama you duplicate your one town and country planning. They be based on the town and country planning. What are they? What town are they planning in Ghana now? Because Winneba, the old places of Winneba have well-structured roads around. But for the new areas in Winneba now,
very scattered.
what's the sit down left, right,
Quiet down. Nako dance, man. Those are old settlements.
Yourself, why? Yeah. Why? But the new ones rather now. Those institutions work rather.
New one is a castle.
So, Mr. Speaker, those are the issues. The other one was what?
Appointment.
Appointment. Okay, I think it's all even linked up there.
Yeah.
For me, the president, and I think Solo said it, does not. You see, does not. The Constitution does not bar the president.
Yeah.
In terms of appointment of Supreme Court judges. And we shouldn't be making comparison though we be way too into Edo Bizu too. I mean, for me, Obian small day too. Yes. Obian small day you too. You felt there per the situation at hand and per the circumstances. It is true that you think you should appoint. Obusu feel there. I know you appoint to 30. Oh no, I'm making a statement first. Okay. Because you earlier made issues about who did appoint how many and all that. You see, for me, it is neither here nor there. I don't feel that that's what he's supposed to do. So let him go ahead and do it. That should tell us a lesson as Ghanaians. What we need to do, because on American, we talked to the young Brennan, be very reasonable and look at it. But we've seen that we can get unreasonable people to take advantage of our constitution and do the things that they are doing.
Very well.
So, me portray aid me see where the recommendation is coming from, those issues. You put a recommendation of Infa, not get to the president to appoint it, whether on paper or not on paper. Where should recommendation to the Supreme Court or judges one nomination to all the bench? Where should recommendation be coming from? Asam Sebe.
Thank you. Mamintie Mamintie Dennis for 10 minutes. Dennis Mamintie for 10 minutes.
So before I go into the issue of the Napo bid, no, this is a very educative subject, and my there mambantem council, me floor. And then I confuse him small. Nobody is disturbing you. There be a casa. Before we go into anything, I think that we need to do some education. And council was doing it, but because of time, me sure say we. And on the issue of the Mahama questioning and the entire NDC questioning, the recommendation coming from the Chief Justice of the Judicial Council. 44 no really and the same 44. To me, our constitution continuously reviews not its weakness, but our weakness. Your constitution, you know. Weakness is reveal pa enye only weakness, no weakness, but any weakness. Or see, it is expected. I mean, the expectation has been that usually president are appointed, but that's not what the constitution says. 44-2 or say the other Supreme Court justices shall be appointed by the president, acting on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament.
I know you're different.
Relax. Take your time.
I think it's 44.
Approval 44. Is different from
from
recommendation.
Yeah, but mama, Michelle, me time
Oh,
Nisa.
Kasado
Hold on. I mean, I'm education.
First point. It's money making the point.
It will read in here. One can say the approval or say shall be appointed on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with approval stage in your mind, but appointment in a working. It before you start the appointment, it must be premised on an advice. So you need to examine the spirit and the language of our entire constitution. If you're a constitutional law student, you understand
you are getting it wrong.
Over Chief Justice at so say the Chief Justice shall be appointed by the President, acting in consultation with the Council of State with the approval of Parliament. Now this is the difference. Baku or say shall appoint acting in consultation. Baku or say shall appoint upon the advice before the consultation. So if you go deeper, anything that comes out of the presidency when it comes to appointment of Supreme Court judges, that is not premised on the advice. It is erroneous. And that is what we've been doing. Today, the Chief Justice, as the custodian of our constitution, has done something. And that is the purpose of this education. It's anything shall be on the advice, unless, of course, a preposition.
Yeah, but I don't know it's not done in isolation.
Maybe. It's so
together with the Judicial Council.
Hold on, bro. The language of the constitution says that appointed by the president acting on the Judicial Council's advice. It's a foot one it's say free will be one ever. Oh yeah, you may question.
So are you saying that the Chief Justice is the council?
Is the no, maybe. No, I'm coming. It's where me in the yard. So he or can be in a make correct or say previously usually president they had appointing or they are call. And I make sure say the advice must come from somewhere. It's one no, correcting. Baby, I'm in the yard and they say there seems to be some confluence when it comes to going back to the judicial council, same judicial council for the approval. And that is where I will side with you. That okay, say judicial council now crap on and get the list we buy, and I still have a second for approval. Now you be see we Mohammed can be on that score. But we set the premise that it is not the president acting out of his whims and caprices to appoint. It must be based on an advice. Now the error here.
Advice can be ignored. Advice I just cast
but man can say it is a mandamus. It we just have to. But where I agree is the flaw of going back. But you see, anything I'm say the constitution is revealing your weakness more than on one weakness. Now on the issue of institutions and agencies, who read the U.S. Constitution very well, we realize that probably one of the best democracies in the world has a very growing constitution after 300 years. More amendments very the audio because constitutions are by scholars are not static organisms. They are living organisms, and I can confidently tell you, Minia, whether MPP and NDC in our whole, this is one of the best constitutions in Africa.
Why?
By every measure, by legality, by structures, by systems. This is one of the best in Africa. Only in Africa, constitution is 5. But you see, we are doing well as Ghanaians by exposing the weakness and gradually growing. My only problem with our constitution is that growth not thing. You weakness and you see grow na adding. Now back to the agencies, I don't think that the agencies are duplication. Reading here, and na council kind, the special prosecutor's office is distinct from the Attorney General's office because Attorney General is a chief principal counsel or advisor to the system. Until you are answerable, and council did just that for us. The problem is that Yoko NBNA different. We don't act now. Totally different on their establishment.
Council, you forgot to
offer national security, any even police. Different. Opa for Attorney General office, no reading ye. Na read the special prosecutor. Different. The problem has been in Nipana. Ye operationalizing. Nipana ye operationalizing. Tina me say profoundly, our constitution is going to review our weakness more than its weakness. In this special prosecutor office in here, anka enye bad. Say council kind. Anka perfect because we are not the only country with a special prosecutor. When the president has
the special prosecutor gains its powers from the age.
That's what I'm saying.
No. So maybe
it's argument. The other person was it the
but I say more confused. One come in. But what can be addressing
Constitution no expose any part of weakness.
More than expose on
no weakness. Now you pay the true constitution. So how is the
constitution? No, I'm not even referring to the premise of the constitution. My much we 30 years ago.
Nipa no more offices.
Until they make an Nipa no much constitution no maybe. Nipa no office is here. No utilization of the law has become problematic.
Application of the
law. Application of the law has become problematic.
Why do you think so?
So you see, you may have a perfect law, you may have a very smooth law, but if the people operating it are mischievous, you have problems. And a typical example is the office of the special prosecutor. We've had 2 of them. Say, Omoko against MPP4. Now MPP4 starts yin inferior. So Omoko against NDC4 a vendetta. That is the human beings operationalizing the law. You find on Twinche, media number me credit to institutions. To me, my advice is that as a new generation coming up, even if say a case the way you be using ye mpoa and Kenya bad sir. You using here we are not fear so a modify be grow. Because even the Swiss democracy, one of the best I have ever read of, is changing continuously. UK UK is doing very, very well. It is because the human beings must give themselves to the growth of their law. Because that is law. by
So
nature.
in fact, all the constitution will not. Amendment.
No, because my Bible can cross it. Another problem of it is how difficult it is for it to grow.
Bible is the best constitution.
Mankasa is the best. Me say one of the best in Africa. Does not mean African standard does not mean say it is wholesome. It is absolute. No,
So it's one of the best.
in Africa
And
by far. Meaning who's African constitution 54 is a 52 nina. Obeka catch them say we need 5 for one count. It is because maybe our African system is a bit weak. In the end,
Then it's over 3 minutes.
now, unfortunately, I never mean blame you. I made the Bema Juan because I speak.
blame wow.
But let's do a chemical. Well, Endra, like we all predicted on this show, that Nana Poku Matthew, Honorable Matthew Poku Prempe will be given the nod. Yesterday, we saw the structures of the new patriotic party do just that. But for me, I come in two folds: what it does to the MPP and what it does to Mother Ghana. So on the lines of MPP, I am happy as a party person. I am happy not just because Napo appeals to the party base, but I'm happy because Yafo Obia Onim party Yafo Obia, he's a forebearer. He's one of the leading forebearers of what even became Tescon. It's already tradition, the formation and the evolution.
How did he become a forebearer? Because I was there when Tesco was
take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Don't read this.
No. I'm saying take your time and listen to me. Before Tescon came into being, there was something we called Dankwa Buzia Dombo Club. I'm saying forebearer. In 1990, the Kenya University branch was headed by Napo. So if I say he's one of the people who were forebearers before the formation of Tescon, I'm not wrong. He's a true party man. Someone weaved with the party's understanding to the point of becoming elections director. And that is one of the most sensitive positions in our party. Yeah, party name. Position back very sensitive. Elections officer and an elections director. Because election party in MPP, your tradition in rounded around electoral activities. So his understanding of the party's structures is something you have to give it to him. His understanding in the center-right tradition is something you have to give to him. Now it comes to his persona, what he brings, the party mobilization. Wow, running numbers no Ashanti region biya. Unim say Napo is a bridging gap for us in Ashanti region. And
that is what you people say, but people are challenging that. Say, only base cry in Ashanti region.
There any base? Obi obebusa obeka cho say Napo ni base. Bebusa na first question. There any base? Ashanti region ni any base? Ono so na bridge ni o base ni so. Napo is that bridge on the base that you need. And Napo is that one as in Ashanti region, which every political scientist will know say it is very critical to our winning of this election, can identify with easily. Beyond so you mention about the young people of Ashanti region. Me, I've taught the region like 3 times in recent times, just in about 3 months. Young people, youth organizers, student leaders, or more can't be Ashanti region also no. The ordinary Joe for no. It is Napo they identify with.
I can't 1 minute. My choice.
Secondly, Oshe Napo trajectory on resource delivery. We'll go into this election with Napo track record as education minister, as against whoever you are bringing to face him. And as to attacks never so or say and I mean who be on Facebook, I feel quite will be so or by your guess. Many are jehon. Only be a flag running mate be fly o krumano or be attacking. But in Sri Lanka, yame some more attacking. Attack him for all you want. But his level of delivery and resource oriented.
Why this speaker even attack her?
Resource orientedness. Because he'll give you the numbers. And the numbers are clear. Say ban resource delivery at the education ministry. His numbers are sterling. The numbers on teacher recruitment, sterling. The numbers on salary, sterling. His numbers on enrollment, sterling. His numbers on quality, sterling. His numbers on infrastructure, sterling. Access, sterling. Every aspect, every metric in education, bia or the bet taking Napo against whoever you are bringing against, bia yemboni dimbiano. It is sterling. It's medicine. Medicine, speaker. Medicine. The message really goes to the MPP as a party Napo, as a person, only perfect. Or nipa. But unimpa na political sciences and mathematics in here. You know Napo is that man for us. On the party line and on the national delivery line. As to attacks never ban on there, we will be here, we will match it boot for boot.
But that's it. Council, 2 minutes in that young I am wrapping up 2 minutes in that young.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, the first minute as I'm making there, you see, unfortunately, the young Brena, young church, the issues here about the office of the special prosecutor, whether the attorney general has the right to do recommendation. You know, they're a bit of. And I think the Chief Justice, sorry, I'm sure the number can be about nominations or recommendations. What are recommendations, Mr. Speaker? Me full day next week. My member Monday, na Mahama Embre Tuesday, na Solo Embre Thursday.
Yeah, advice.
It's not even an advice. Recommendation is like I'm telling you, this is what I think. My view. You understand? But if it was the Judicial Council doing a recommendation, I'll be worried. Because then you are talking about they themselves coming back to be the approval process.
Yeah. This is the head of the Judicial Council, the chairperson.
She's the chair.
You have a point,
but what I'm saying is that she has an understanding of the system and knows the credibility or the work of the various lawyers, judges. So I can recommend that I think that these people, the work that they are doing, we will need them on the bench to add to the weight.
Is there a need?
You understand? So yes, why not? She feels until I make that you see those are the things, the gaps that we can talk about. If I feel there, because in Brandon in Ethiopia there was a gap. Probably she knows that the president cannot throw money there, Massa. Do you have an idea of certain people that you think I can do it? You see, these things people do it behind the scenes. They decide to put it on paper. Because even president appointing ministers, some people advise. Some of them, they are unseen hands who do advice and recommendations. But this one, they decide to put it on paper and make it transparent. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with it. Mr. Speaker, I'm trying to hear into my mommy Yamade. Hey, Obi Nonde now with that. Offend ya Puma Millicent. O Kumasi, us minchio. Na minchia a solo pa minim so yim solo wa yim fo.
Propaganda.
Millicent ya Puma Techi. Happy birthday to you. Yankopon shiro no yo kese.
Amen.
Oma Ghana mfani.
2 minutes.
Where the woman say whether or not candidates in Yano. Almost
that when I'm running mate, remember.
Oh, so we candidate Udimua running mate is of no said that issue. Yeah, the candidate is formidable enough. Alan is so formidable. Say,
is not there.
But
majority believes says Ebusaka na modern neighbor.
I know the person made 2 minutes free. Your candidate oral and chamantism.
Okay.
We know the ama running mate be issue. They say. Front runners na nkasa no omo nche da monama kira say odu ani kwakoto one way die che da di nyina no de ye nyina de ye pen say ye benyo mo mba bedi o man animu a ebe de o man be ko nanim say inflation a e wosoro e beba fom nyoma bo a e ye de no e beba fom na asetena mu ahenha ene dan bo untumi high won kran kumase ene nimpotem ene nsasesem ntokwanko aye kunipa basa ni sayenya obi oba bebo o man no that is all that every Ghanaian is looking out to now. Yakofo obi ne say your friend say kofa obi to say na pona say you bet me ayan so be galvanize the base of the MPP. Said the base of the MPP is not the base of the entire country. That's that you are only targeting your party.
Yeah.
My new election is won with 50 plus 1. A JB Obenya 50 no within the MPP, but where is the plus 1 going? And another president go for maybe Oka say Munkan who say you could have 50. Now cut that plus 1. One be the you might say sana no candidate. This time around you are going into an election that's so crucial. election Ghana for na pre aban ebia ne say ye ka say Supreme Court appointment that dey constitution legal abeda ne tag of war between two parties when you and it jabasa no Ghana for person munya so we dey also ya ne say wo de okoto abanma obi a oko as an independent candidate na koka no eso ti okrumu a ne ye a united force build on my way. And yes, go here.
But that's Godwin, Yanko. Why? Time now.
I totally disagree with the interpretation. Dennis, put you on Article 144.
Interpret you
because that's what you're trying to do. Because you see,
I don't have to interpret.
When the president would appoint, and the Judicial Council will advise upon the appointment made by the president.
Where are you reading from?
Then after, the fact that 144. Me say 144. Don't worry. Me say the president will appoint and seek the advice of the Judicial Council. Based on the advice, then that list goes to Parliament for approval. So Judicial Council don't advise as part of the earlier appointment before it comes back to them. Do you get it? But you are creating the impression that they would advise as part of the appointment and it will come back to them, which is wrong interpretation, please.
Is that what Dennis Walker?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Which is wrong. No, it is wrong.
Can Constitution?
Don't worry. Let me read for you. Let me read for you. Don't worry. Let me read for you. The chief. Don't worry. The other Supreme Court. So listen. The other Supreme Court judges shall be appointed by the president. Appointed by the president. That's the first thing. Acting on the advice of the Judicial Council. That's what it means that after the appointment, it goes to them for an advice before it goes to Parliament for approval. But all the same, as I said, I disagree with you. My last point is that, Mr. Speaker, for me, Maka, Oshe and Pempenswa Ghana Eduna, Abanwe ni Bibi for the more in Ghana. They have destroyed the country. Omaya Ejama or no, that's not what they are leaving to the next government. The main issue at hand, unemployment issue. John Mahama has solution to that effect, and that is the 24-hour.
On the ending note of unemployment, unemployment a numbers game. It you can. Namache said Napo as education minister, the employment figures are sterling. In 2017-2018, he employed diploma graduates 14,170. Degree graduates 9,100. 2018 14,500. 8,870. But your Ministry of Education.
But 2018 Napo
was Education Minister.
Unemployment rate you say.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm grateful for your time. It's exactly 40 after that. We did a Kwame Appiah Kubi. And I must say a very big thank you for staying true with us from Monday to Friday. Happy weekend to all of you. Hannah Brebema, Kwame, you do a Seattle playing. Yeah, sorry, so I call. Sorry, so no, say Joe, any team, no, at the production, no, Nina, no, at the I don't tell me any Juana, you best anyway, dear, share the Komo, be a Mafa Ghana, what you drink Ghana. Enjoy your weekend. Stay blessed. God bless you. Good morning, Ghana. We are out of here.
Another 6 o'clock is here. Wake up and meet the morning dear. Brand new day, it's a brand new slate. Like Barack say, yes I can. Don't let the worries of yesterday hold you down on this lovely day. Well, look up in the mirror and say, yes, I can. Open your face, open your face. Nothing away, nothing away. Dani Mugala Kabo. Magana Marekena Blue. Nothing away, nothing away. Open your face, open your face. Magana Marekena Blue.